Well, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Paul McGinley Field, where on this Friday afternoon, the Trinity Tigers are hosting the ladies and gentlemen of Centenary College to open the Southern Collegiate Athletic Conference schedule here in 2021. As you can see, on the women's side, Trinity coming into this one ranked number 8 in the country with a 6-0-1 record. They return home today after a couple of games up in the Northeast, playing against Stevens and Farmingdale State. Their lone draw coming against Stevens, followed up with an overtime win against Farmingdale State. They're back here at Paul McGinley Field, where they've gone 5-0 so far this season, looking to extend an over decade-long win streak in SCAC regular season play this afternoon. Today's schedule kickoff moved up a couple hours as we look to dodge some rain. There's been precipitation over the last couple of days, and that'll make the field conditions something to watch as this match goes on, as well as tonight's men's matchup between the gentlemen and the Tigers. We'll get into now the starting lineups. First, for the ladies and head coach Morgan Crespo, it's Avery Sanderson in goal. Gabby Mcdonald, the senior captain, will lead the 10 on the field. Celeste Muniz, Mackenzie Williams, Haley Gangloff, Sydney Bascom, Veronica Doherty, Yossi Buslag, Ariel Muller, Avery Gilbert, and Sierra Charles. And the 11 that Coach Harrison has selected to start SCAC play out there huddled right now. It's Joey Finley in between the sticks, the current SCAC Defensive Player of the Week. Ahead of her, a back three of Ashlyn Zingelman, Bailey Meyer, and Reese Wallace. In midfield, it's Emma Everts, Cece Hendricks, Cameron Beal, and Madison Horner. In the attack, Alex Walsh, Katie Ward, and Molly Sheridan. Trinity now ready to get underway. They're in the all-white kits today with maroon trim moving from right to left here in the first half. Centenary in the maroon and black will look to score in Joey Finley's goal, going from left to right. Final checks for the official. Now sets his watch. And we are underway here in conference play. 2021 SCAC schedule gets started here at Paul McGinley Field with the earlier kickoff. This will be the first game on the women's side of the season. Early run down the right wing from Muller. Puts it forward for McDonald. Back to Muller now on the overlap. She's in behind Bailey Meyer. Chance to get to the end line and fire one across. Defended at the back post. An early warning sign coming from the ladies. When Finley was unable to come up with that one, I thought surely it was destined to end up in the back of the net. We'll see how close it came. It was Everts who got the last touch. And Centenary have an early corner kick. You see Trinity going to mark zonally here, starting in the 6-yard box. And it's headed off the line. Again, Emma Everts coming to the rescue for Trinity. And it's been a great opening minute for Coach Morgan Crespo in her first ever trip here to Paul McGinley Field. But immediately now it's Emma Everts who has got it done at the defensive end, looking to lead Trinity the other way. She runs into a hard tackle from Gangloff. Possession regained by Centenary. Walsh will put the pressure here on Muniz, who overhits the cross-field ball, giving possession back to Trinity. And Madison Horner, who starts at left midfield today. Sheridan checks short. Katie Ward makes the run in behind. Ariel Muller gets the touch to send it back out for another Trinity throw. Bascom lays it off, and the ladies send it down into the channel, where a lot of the precipitation has made the field conditions a little bit sloppy. Right where we're playing right now in that right center channel of the pitch. Horner forcing the ladies back here. Sheridan puts the pressure on Muller, conceding the throw-in. Bascom wins the header. Puts it towards McDonald, who's now battling with Meyer. Bailey Meyer restored to the Trinity lineup after missing a couple of games through injury. She made her comeback against Farmingdale State. It's good to see her back out with the brace on the left arm. It was a arm injury. She was in a sling for a couple of weeks. She returns now with Zingelman to her left and Reese Wallace to her right as a part of the Trinity back three, which nearly went a goal down here in the opening minute of the game. It's been Centenary who've had the opportunities so far as Trinity found the feet of Alex Walsh. And Meyer was the game winner the last time these two teams met. It was in Shreveport, and the game was decided 7 minutes from time as now Trinity send the ball in. Chance at the back post, and Madison Horner couldn't keep the shot down. You see, just swings her weaker left foot at it, and despite an open net, she couldn't keep it down. And we've remained scoreless. Great opportunities now at both ends. But to flash back to the matchup between these two teams, it was destined to go down as a draw and cut the over decade-long Trinity SCAC win streak before Bailey Meyer popped up off an assist from Katie Ward 7 seconds before the final buzzer. The last time Centenary were here was the season before in 2019. They lost 4-0 on goals from Katie Ward, Cameron Beal, Kristen Caniglione, and Nia Shepard. Those were under previous head coach Greg Cathell. Hendricks has won it back here for Trinity. Wants to go long, looking for Katie Ward. Defended away by the ladies. Possession recovered in midfield by Zingelman. Wallace wide now for Everts. Near the corner flag for Katie Ward, who's 1v1 with her defender and able to win a corner kick. Trinity starting their pursuit of a back-to-back SCAC championship and a 12th out of the last 13 today. Their lone slip up in the 2019 final against Southwestern, which they tied 0-0 and lost on penalties. And that gave them something to prove coming back last year and setting an all-time tournament record for goals scored across the 3 games. Heavy favorites to win the conference again this year, and ranked number 8 in the country, expected to do big things as the season wears on. It's sent towards the back post where Hendricks gets ahead to it. It's her last touch that sends it out of play. Goal kick coming. Avery Sanderson, the senior goalkeeper out of McKinney, Texas, takes the goal kick. She started every game this season except for a 3-1 loss against East Texas Baptist, giving up 10 goals and making 22 saves. Centenary were a defensively resolute team last year. They seem to have lost some of that solidity at the back this season as Katie Ward pokes it wide now for Sheridan. She's got space to shoot, fires it on the right foot. And Sanderson makes the save. I don't know how much she knew about it. It looked like the shot unsighted her. Perhaps there was a deflection on the way through. As she went down on one knee. It was that knee that sent it around the post and out for a Trinity corner. Keeping a 0 on the left side of the scoreboard for now. Corner kick sent in low towards the near post. I think that was a miscue for Everett, so he'll get another chance. This one, much more air underneath it, sent to the top of the box. Again, though, no one underneath it in white. Reese Wallace recovers possession, sends it down the line for Walsh, but she can't keep it in play. 8 minutes gone. The expected order of this game restored. Trinity in control after a flurry of opportunities in the opening 2 minutes for the ladies. That one came off the hand of the ladies' player. Referee says no handball, probably because of proximity and intent. That's out for a Trinity throw-in instead. Walsh lays it off for Everts. Slight miss kick, but it's controlled now by Bascom. Is around her opposite number 13, and he's got room to roam down the right side. Pass just behind Gabby Mcdonald. Back with Trinity and Cece Hendricks. Fired into the feet of Katie Ward. She's got Sheridan to her left. Instead wants to go in behind for Walsh on the right. Loose ball controlled by Wallace. Good first time pass down the line. There's a chance now to cross. Sheridan in. Ward as well as Sanderson's able to claim it after a slight bobble. Sanderson's claimed the starting job this year after getting the most time of her career as a first-year player in 2018, playing just 2 games over the next 2 seasons. She's gaining experience by the game now. Here's Katie Ward, gets to the end line. She's got Sheridan to cross into. She's won another corner kick. Katie Ward already twice Offensive Player of the Week this season. She won it back-to-back for the Trinity home performances prior to the New York trip. 5 goals and 3 assists for Ward in her senior season out of Phoenix, Arizona. Another low cross sent in from the corner. Horner drops it back off for Wallace. It's great shape on the ball in, looking for Zingelman. Ward gets ahead to it. Ashlyn Zingelman is able to track it down and win another corner, this time from the opposite side. And Wallace across to take it as well. You see the Trinity set up 4 corners, 3 across the face of goal, 4 at the top of the box. Wallace sends it in. Again, plenty of air underneath it. 2 Trinity Tigers underneath it. And they track down the loose ball now, back out wide with Wallace. Steps past her defender, gets the shot on. It's just wide of the back post. Whether it was a shot or cross won't matter. We'll see how close it came. You see the ball moving the opposite way that you'd expect coming off the right foot. Bending away from goal. Trinity still looking for the first goal of SCAC play this season. Zingelman with the ball in the center circle. Composed ball forward for Hendricks. Just puts a little too much weight on the pass out wide for Horner. The throw-in was quickly over the head of Madison Horner. Bascom helped it on, but only as far as Ashlyn Zingelman. Possession back with Trinity and Reese Wallace. That ball looked like it was intended for Ward, overhit all the way through for a goal kick. Haven't seen much other than the main threat going forward for Centenary, Gabby Mcdonald. She was a first-team selection last year with 4 goals and 2 assists in the abbreviated 11-game schedule. As a team, Centenary went 8-4 and pitched a program-best 7 shutouts, only giving up 5 goals. They finished the season with 3 straight 1-0 losses, including that game against Trinity at home. that Bailey Meyer was able to win in the dying seconds. It was a season to build upon, particularly on the defensive end. But this year, it's been a rocky start for Coach Crespo, her second season in charge. The ladies come into this one 2-6, giving up over 2 goals a game. Katie Ward launches this one into a dangerous area, but only Sheridan in the box for Trinity. As Horner gets to the loose ball first and draws the foul from Doherty. Looks like it'll be Zingelman to take the free kick. Trinity will likely set this up similar to a corner kick. You do have to worry about offside, although both Trinity players are being marked on either goalpost, so that won't come into play. The ladies get the first touch, send it further from their goal, but Trinity keep the attack alive here now with Katie Ward inside the box. Looks to slalom past 2 defenders, but Emma Everts is called offside. Coach Crespo talking to her back line, letting them know anything really has to go as opposed to trying to play short. She's the 6th head coach in program history and was the assistant under Coach Cathell last year. Very familiar with this group of players. Low cross fired in. Sent behind for another corner kick. We'll see if Trinity can make this one count. They're piling up here in the early moments of this game. This corner kick number 7. And just 15 minutes of the early action. This is a good ball in from Wallace. Comes off the head of Zingelman. Back wide now with Reese Wallace. Past her defender, sent to the turf. A low ball in this time. Sheridan was offside. The referee's only just seen it. You see the headed effort from Zingelman. Looks like it was on target, cleared away by Gangloff off the line. And the ladies might feel aggrieved that the referee decided to blow the whistle there. And they had a rare opportunity to break with Trinity players up the field. Just brought it back for the offside. And straight from that restart, Trinity back on it. Muniz sends it down the field. Bascom will give chase, but it's at the feet of Zingelman. 3 now around Madison Horner, but she calmly rolls it into midfield for Cameron Beal. Cameron Beal, wait on the pass down the line, looking for fellow Colorado native Emma Everts. She got there, couldn't wrap her hips around it. Cross behind for a goal kick. Different role for Emma Everts coming off the right today. She played most of her Trinity career in the middle of the park. Middle of the park currently being controlled by 3 Trinity seniors, 3 of the most experienced players for Coach Harrison. That's Cameron Beal, Cece Hendricks, and Alex Walsh. Time on the ball for the ladies. Here's Charles. It's caught on the ball by Hendricks. Now Walsh with an incisive pass forward to the feet of Katie Ward. Katie Ward gets a low cross in towards the back post. Horner's closest to it, but it's a couple of steps ahead of her, rolling behind for a goal kick. Sanderson takes the goal kick. It's helped on by Bascom. Zingelman able to keep it in play, finds the head of Sheridan. Lays it off for Katie Ward. Out wide for Horner, fires a low ball in. Comes off the foot of Sheridan, now controlled by Cameron Beal. Laid off for Wallace as the sun peeks out from behind the clouds here at Paul McGinley Field. Zingelman stabs it forward, and Beal draws the contact for a free kick. Looks to be in range for service, but never rule out a shot, as we're about 35 yards from goal. Zingelman does take the shot on, and not far away, just over the crossbar for the defender formerly of the University of North Texas, transferred ahead of this season. First substitution of the game, as Doherty is now replaced by Daisy Acosta, the sophomore out of Deer Park, Texas. Looks like she'll lead the line. And Gabby Mcdonald will drop into midfield. She's had precious few touches of the ball in the early action today. Here's the substitute Acosta. 2 Trinity Tigers draped over her back. She gave it up, but the Tigers couldn't do anything with it. Sanderson in no rush to pick the ball up. Ladies so close to eking out a 0-0 draw against Trinity once last season. That might be the best that they can hope for this season as well. Haven't been prolific in front of goal so far in 2021, scoring just a goal every other game on average. 2 wins came against Alcorn State 2-1, and the University of St. Thomas in double overtime 1-0. Avery Gilbert got the winner in that game against the Celts, who Trinity will see on Sunday, a noon kickoff. A game that Trinity was able to put up big numbers in last season, 10-0 result when the Celts came to town. That'll be our only kickoff here at Paul McGinley Field on the Sunday as the men's team travels to play St. Thomas in Houston. Down the line now for Katie Ward, 2 in the area to aim at. She sends the ball in, looking for Sheridan. Defended at the near post by Muller. May still fall for Molly Sheridan at the back post. Her second header set up the shot, which was well held by Avery Sanderson. See, the ball just doesn't fall for Sheridan. She has to control it then with the head and poke it towards goal. But if Sanderson wasn't able to save it, Muller was there to clear it off the line. Katie Ward down the line for Emma Everts. Ball in towards the near post. Muller able to defend it that time. The ladies concede another corner. With their 7th corner of the game, Trinity came the closest. Zingelman's header cleared off the line. See if they can do one better here as we approach a quarter of the way through this afternoon's game. Zingelman again, got ahead to it. Her header blocked by Muniz. And now Daisy Acosta going the other way, runs into Bailey Meyer. And limps away from the coming together. She's got the left leg wrapped up. A few Centenary players with bandages and wraps on to start this game. Here's Katie Ward now working at the top of the box. Takes the shot and cannons off the post. Keeper, no chance at that one. As Ward got a ton of power behind it. We'll see if it was post or crossbar. It's just the inside of the top of the post. This one fired in off the foot of Cameron Beal, wide of goal. as we are now a quarter of the way through today's game. And that's the closest Trinity have come. Shot off the crossbar. And almost the angle of the crossbar and post. And very close to bouncing in. Bascom has looked pretty energetic going the other way for Centenary. Probably the standout player so far. In pursuit, she ran into Bailey Meyer. And Trinity controlled it here with their back line. Everett's well-weighted pass in for Walsh, who's able to turn. Sheridan puts it in behind now for Katie Ward. Katie Ward bearing down on goal, gets the shot away, and gets the first goal of SCAC play for Trinity here in 2021. We knew it was coming. Katie Ward off the top of the post moments ago. This time, no mistake on the finish. And the Tigers lead. It's a great finish into the side netting. A product of strong build-up play. Alex Walsh involved. Molly Sheridan will get the assist for Katie Ward's 6th goal of the season. First time that the senior out of Arizona has really found any space behind the ladies' back line. Have sat deep to start this game. And she was able to make good use of it. And now Trinity looking to immediately add to their advantage as Horner comes in field. He's got Walsh as an option short. And she wanted to go beyond Alex Walsh, but ended up cannoning off the head of the fellow senior. Sheridan tries to poke it back to Walsh, who's putting the pressure on. Beal gets a foot on the ball. It's then sent down the field by Sierra Charles. So on the goal, both Walsh and Sheridan credited with the assist. They now move into first place in the SCAC assist charts with 5 each. And chance now for Sheridan to get a goal of her own. She's got it under control. She got the shot away as well, but the flag came up for offside. Sheridan second in the SCAC with 4 goals, now behind Katie Ward's 6. Tied with Alex Walsh on 5 assists to lead the conference. Player down here for Centenary. As we wait to get play resumed. Katie Ward there as well. In conversation with the ladies player who's down. Not really sure what's going on. Perhaps they were tangled up. I don't know. Ward now jogs off. Both teams coming across for what looks like an unofficial water break to finish the point on the leaders in the conference right now. Katie Ward with 6 goals. Sheridan with 4. Is tied with Samantha Hazen for Southwestern, who's made a strong early impression for the Pirates. 4 goals and 4 assists. Good for second in both categories. Pretty much everywhere else, though, it's Trinity players dominating the charts. Joey Finley comes into this game with the 3rd best goals against average and the least amount of goals against with 3. I mentioned the goalkeeper for Trinity, the defensive player of the week, as she got her first shutout at Stevens on the road trip, making 7 saves in the process. It wasn't an easy 0 to put up. No saves so far for Joey Finley. You see the stats on your screen so far through 25 minutes of action. Trinity in control after an early opportunity for Centenary might have flipped the script. Tigers have since come roaring back. 10 shots, 5 on target, 8 corner kicks, and the opening goal off the right foot of Katie Ward. We'll restart here with a free kick for offside. Trinity preparing their first 3 changes at the next opportunity. Here's Hendricks, ball forward for Katie Ward. Katie Ward faces up her defender, drops the shoulder past one, rolls it across the box. And now a chance for the ladies to get out on the counterattack. Bascom takes a heavy touch and runs into Ashlyn Zingelman. Hendricks gets there first ahead of Charles, puts it in behind now for Sheridan. Gets the shot on. Sanderson was quick to come out and smother the opportunity. The punt bounces ahead of Mackenzie Williams. Cameron Beal able to control it for the Tigers. Wallace down the line for Everts. Further down the line for Katie Ward. Gets to the inline, fires it across. Too much air underneath it. And a Centenary throw coming from the near side. The ladies without senior defender Kat Martinez, who has been a standout in the past here at Paul McGinley Field. She's a San Antonio native, yet to appear this season. Here's Cameron Beal on the ball for Trinity. Sheridan looks to lay it off for Ward. Can't connect with the strike partner. Mackenzie Williams couldn't keep it in midfield. Beal immediately back on it. Ball rolled forward for Walsh. Wallace wide for Everts, who's got all kinds of time. She now runs into Gabby McDonald. Literally running into the senior out of Pasadena, Texas, knocking her to the turf, but lacking direction on the cross. She's now replaced by Cassie Bowers. Emily Hayes takes the place of Madison Horner on the left. And Walsh is replaced by Taylor Campbell. Emily Hayes, 2 goals on the season. Playing as the left midfielder today, the number 9 for Trinity. Bowers and Campbell both looking for their first tally of 2021. Zingelman has got time on the ball as the ladies have dropped deeper and deeper as the half wore on. The early energy now seems to have faded away. Bowers shields that one and wins the throw-in. Cassie Bowers from Lafayette, Louisiana. And against the school very close to home. Katie Ward looking to turn. Drags it back and fires the shot. Blocked out for a corner. Hint of handball in it as Coach Harrison was appealing against Ariel Muller. She had the hands tucked in, but not quite. As the cross sent in from the Trinity corner, Zingelman gets ahead to it. No power in the effort. Sanderson holds. Wallace misjudged the first bounce, tracked it down without contest on the second. As Campbell not on the same page with Sheridan having just come on. Rolls that one out. Goal kick coming for the ladies. Sanderson will switch this to the other side of the 6-yard box. Goal kick skews off the outside of her foot. Trinity throw will allow for substitution. Cece Hendricks replaced by Bella Ferruzzi, a junior out of McKinney. Now goes into midfield alongside Cameron Beal. And Cassie Bowers, who's the target of the throw-in. Beaten to it, though, by Muniz. And Bowers then commits the foul, which will give him moments of rest for the ladies. Actually, Ferruzzi committing the foul. Yossi Buslog to take for Centenary. She was a second-team selection all-conference last year. She scored one starting all 11 games for the ladies. Gangloff will see this one out and take the throw in herself. Zingelman sends it down the field. Muniz controls it. Onto the chest of Bascom, who's fouled by Zingelman coming through the back. Free kick opportunity now for the ladies to find an equalizer. McDonald comes across from the left side to take. 3 back in maroon and black. Everybody else will attack the service off the foot of their senior captain. It's a good ball in to the top of the box. Helped on towards goal by Muniz. Wide of target. Goal kick coming for Finley. Rolls it out quick. Bascom drawn to the ball here, putting the pressure on. Got a foot on the clearance from Zingelman. It's helped on by Sheridan. Katie Ward in a foot race now with Buslog. Is forced to play it out of bounds for a Trinity throw. Deep in ladies' territory. Zingelman all the way forward from the back 3 to take the throw in. Sheridan able to control it, put it across, looking for Campbell. Now Campbell gets there ahead of Gilbert on the far side. Campbell shows her speed to get to the end line, fires the ball in. Couldn't keep it in the field of play. It's behind for a goal kick, and 2 more changes now for Trinity. It's Meredith McAllister in to replace Beal in midfield, and Callan Crandall takes the place of Reese Wallace on the back line. So the 2 strikers, Sheridan and Ward, and 2 of the defenders, and Meyer and Zingelman, keep their place. Everybody else has now been changed by Coach Harrison here in the first half. The lone Trinity goal coming from Katie Ward, assisted by Alex Walsh and Molly Sheridan. Goal coming in the 24th minute of action. Centenary's best chance came in the opening moments. And they were able to get forward and fire a low cross in. That's their only corner kick as well, to Trinity's 9 so far in the first half. Interception in midfield by Muniz. Looks to get it back from Williams, but she's robbed of possession by Cassie Bowers. McAllister pokes it out to Crandall. First chance to get on the ball for the substitute. Good touch from Sheridan to keep this attack ticking along. Now it's wide with Emily Hayes. Gets the left-footed cross in, blocked behind for the 10th corner kick of the first half for the Tigers. It's Crandall. Comes across to line this one up. Ball sent towards the top of the box. Two Centenary players collide as it's back wide now with Crandall. Knocks it off her defender, out for a Trinity throw. Muniz back to her feet in the penalty area, as this one's kept in play by Crandall. Slid into the box for Sheridan, as Engelman now turns it goalward. And it's pucked out of the sky by Sanderson. Katie Ward lurking in the area. Eight and a half to play here in the first half. That's the scoreline which Trinity was able to pull out the last time these two teams met in Shreveport. They've got their eyes set on a much bigger result here at home. Currently boasting a number 8 in the nation ranking. Finishing last season ranked number 1 out of all the teams that played nationwide. A lot of that because of the offensive play of this player, Katie Ward. Sits Gabby McDonald down there. Taylor Campbell also looking sharp on the dribble. She fires in the low cross. Bowers gets a touch on the way through. And she's off the mark here in 2021. Trinity double the advantage. Great work by Ward and Campbell down the right. And an accurate finish for Cassie Bowers. Just needed the redirection, and she was able to provide that. First goal of the season and 8 substitute appearances.
Teddy Del Preti in for Trinity. Goal by Trinity, number 34, Cassie Bowers. Number 18, Taylor Campbell.
Del Preti and Bosco will enter the game now. Del Preti already in for Sheridan. Bosco will wait to replace Katie Ward. Hayes comes across. Gets a foot in. Out for a ladies' throw. Here's Crandall on the ball. Puts that one too far out in front of Taylor Campbell. Get her second assist of the season on the goal. Centenary send it down the line. Meyer comes across to deal with it. The Week 1 Defensive Player of the Week this season. As Trinity gave up just 1 goal in their 2 games against McMurray and regional rivals Hardin Simmons. 2 early season statement victories for Trinity as they've made a little bit of a mess of this at the back. Meyer sends it clear goal. He's coming against Hardin Simmons and Cal Lutheran. Ward will leave this as I think she was offside. Del Preti was onside, and she's behind her defender now. Katie Ward waiting in the middle. Del Preti couldn't get it across for Ward to fire home a second goal of the day. Gangloff takes the throw. Under 6 to go here in the first half. Del Preti's tracked it down for Trinity. A goal and 2 assists on the season so far for the sophomore striker. It's been a part of a really energetic partnership off the bench for Trinity with Michaela Bosco, who still waits to come into this game. Katie Ward looking to add to her goal on the day before she comes off, but it's Cassie Bowers who's able to do so. She finds her second as it cannons off the keeper on the way through into the top corner. A late surge of offense here in the first half. And Trinity in control here, 3-0. See the ball. Gangloff couldn't clear it. Bowers got the shot on target. And Ariel Muller maybe in the way of Sanderson. Either way, it came off the goalkeeper on the way through. 2 goals on the day for Cassie Bowers. And Trinity hunting for more here with still 5 minutes to play in the first half. Really good weight on the pass forward by Gangloff, but the substitute, Hannah Hayworth, couldn't get on the end of it. First involvement here for Michaela Bosco off the Trinity bench. She'll put the pressure here on Buslag. Ferruzzi gets a foot on it in midfield. Battling there with Bascom, eventually coming away with the ball. Campbell down the right wing, lifts it in behind for Del Preti to chase. Del Preti is all over Ariel Muller that time. But the Centenary junior did just enough. Here's Bowers on a hat trick. Maybe thought about this shot, 20 yards from goal. Lay it off for Campbell to her right. Now Callan Crandall. Ball forward for Bosco. Turns past the defender. Gets the shot herself. Over the top. Michaela Bosco losing her footing as she fired that shot. Two goals, 4 assists already in her Trinity career. Michaela Bosco came into this game, as I mentioned, tied for the SCAC lead with 4 assists. Now trailing Walsh and Sheridan on 5. Charles lays this one back. It's wide now with Gangloff. Muller all the way back to the goalkeeper, Sanderson. Del Preti patrolling the area for Trinity. And Muller's got a moment. She runs then into Emily Hayes, who's in behind here with 2 to her right. Low cross across the top of the box. Comes for Bowers now, looking for a hat trick. She lays this one wide for Bosco. A low ball in becomes a shot as it's gobbled up by Avery Sanderson. Real chance there for Cassie Bowers to find her first half hat trick off the bench. Not something you see often. Still time as Bowers wins that one back in midfield. Plays it forward for Del Preti. Bella Ferruzzi regains possession for the Tigers. McAllister plays it wide for Hayes. Hayes will want to get onto her right foot here. Found a moment to get the ball in. Comes off Del Preti. Zingelman keeps the pressure on, keeping it in the attacking third for Trinity. Looks like last touch was off Hayes behind for a goal kick. The referee checks on, I think, Buslag. Sanderson readies the goal kick. Sierra Charles beaten to it by Hayes, who puts it out for a ladies' throw. Zingelman sends it forward. Controlled by McDonald, but she runs into Bowers. Bowers wants to go in behind for Campbell down the right. Pass doesn't reach her. And now Avery Gilbert is the one to put it out of play for Centenary. Under a minute to go here in the first half. If you missed the first minute of the game, especially if you're a Centenary fan, you might want to go back and rewatch it. It was the best moment for the ladies over the 45. As they fired one of their 2 shots in the game from close range. And nearly flipped the script on this game, which has since gone according to plan for Coach Harrison and the Tigers. As Katie Ward opened the scoring in the 24th minute. And quick fire goals in the 38th and 40th from Cassie Bowers. Given Trinity complete control as they look for a 131st straight victory in SCAC regular season play.
6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
They're halfway to 131 as the whistle goes. And we head into the halftime break. See the match stats on your screen. 17 shots, 10 on target for Trinity. Sanderson was able to keep out 7, but 3 ended up in the back of the net. 10 corners as well to just 1 for the ladies. It was an overall dominant performance. It took Trinity 23 minutes to finally break down the Centenary back line, but they were able to do so, and they take control of this game. Headed into the break, 15 minutes on the clock, and then we'll be back in action here. You're watching SCAC Soccer on the Tiger Network. Welcome back as we're getting a look at the goals from the first half from Katie Ward and then twice from Cassie Bowers. The two teams now retaking the field with Trinity firmly in control here, 3-0. Coach Harrison making a change in between the sticks. It's the second appearance of the season for senior goalkeeper Lauren Bolish. We got the start against Howard Payne a couple weeks ago. Kept the 0 up on the board in 78 minutes of action, without facing any shots in that one. Outside of the change in goal, looks like Callan Crandall keeps her place on the field out on the left midfield. Kira Stafford into the game for the first time as well. Everybody else same from the first half 11. Cassie Bowers out there on a hat trick. And she'll look to find her third goal here straight from the off as we're back underway. 45 minutes to go in the 2021 SCAC opener between Trinity and the Centenary ladies. Stafford towards the corner flag where Sheridan gives chase. It's Cannon Doffer behind for a goal kick. For Avery Sanderson, who made 7 saves in the first half. The top of the left goalpost made another save as Katie Ward cannoned it off the woodwork just moments before she scored the opening goal. And Trinity had almost 70% possession. Centenary a few chances to get out and run on the counterattack, but as the half wore on, it looked like the energy seemed to evaporate. Here's Bowers looking to be incisive. Her pass intended for Everett, cut out on the way through. Tracked down by Bailey Meyer, dropped all the way back to Lauren Bolish. She'll get her first touch of the ball here. Rolls it wide for Crandall, is out there in place of Zingelman. Sheridan with a strong turn. Castel Munoz tracking back, got her foot in the way, and then as a result got a full force kick from Molly Sheridan for her troubles and a free kick for the team. Ariel Muller, junior out of Groves, Texas, lines this one up. Cameron Beal gets ahead to it, not much distance on the clearance. Looked like it hit her in the head more than she actually headed it. Good deft touch there from Wallace. Forward for Katie Ward. Back now with Reese Wallace. Tried to poke it in behind for Katie Ward to chase. Ariel Muller there first, but now put under pressure by Katie Ward. Is a two-time first-team All-Region selection. Looking to get on the All-American list for the first time here as a senior. Stafford brings it down to the top of the box, slips over the ball. Cameron Beal comes flying through, can't get a foot on it. And Everett will watch this one roll out of play. Quickly back in now with Wallace. Here's Emma Everett down the line for Katie Ward. Tries to step past her defender. It's poked out for a corner kick. Kira Stafford will come across, get the in-swinging service in. Corner kick number 11 on the day for the Tigers. I've seen one cleared off the line. Haven't done a ton with these opportunities, though, in total. This one driven in, and Beal gets a foot on it. Shot off target. Goal kick coming. Cameron Beal making her 58th career appearance, 44th start. It was a first-team All-Region selection back in 2019 when she led the team with 9 goals coming out of midfield. has won this year. That one came against Hardin Simmons as Trinity won 4-1 against their usual regional rival. Their biggest statement victory of the season so far. Stafford wanted to find the ball into the feet of Katie Ward. It's defended by the ladies. They just can't keep possession. It's out for another Trinity throw. Gangloff beaten to it by Stafford. And Stafford just runs out of room. Looking to send the cross in. Setting up now a goal kick for Sanderson. Goal kick just about reaches the halfway line before it's cleared away by Bailey Meyer, out for a ladies' throw. Centenary, a program that record-wise peaked at the Division III level anyway in 2019 when they went 16-3. And they were led by an All-American striker in Mickey Boldrin. Finished the year with 16 goals, 7 assists. He was the Offensive Player of the Year in the SCAC that season. Alongside her, Kira Montez also hit double digits in both goals and assists and was named first team all-region. Replacing that type of goal scoring, particularly losing your biggest two offensive threats in one season, was never going to be easy. So when Coach Crespo took over ahead of the abbreviated 2020 spring season, seems like anyway, she focused a lot on the defensive end, and it paid dividends, conceding just 5 goals and pitching 7 shutouts. And what ended up being an 8-4 season that ended in the SCAC quarterfinals. This season, though, they've lost a couple of key contributors on the defensive end and still yet to replace the goals of Boldrin and Montez from 2 years ago. Looks like it's going to be a grind for the ladies. It's good play here by Ariel Muller, poking it out for a Trinity throw, taken quickly into the feet of Everts. Back now to Katie Ward, who stayed on side. Her cross blocked behind for a corner kick. Centenary coming to this game 2-6. Currently on a 4-game losing streak, including games against SCAC opponents, TOU and Southwestern over the last 2. Wallace got ahead to that on his way through. It's Bailey Meyer who's going to be whistled for a foul here, putting the pressure on Gabby McDonald. Gabby McDonald, the one first-team All-SCAC selection from last year's individual accolades. Scored 4 and assisted twice in 11 games. She's got 1 goal this year in the loss against East Texas Baptist. And she's shown her versatility. She's listed on the roster as a forward/midfielder/defender. And as the first half wore on, she dropped from starting as the striker into midfield and then into the back line. So we saw all 3 positions for the senior captain. We also saw 1 goal from Katie Ward, and she's added a second. Beautiful footwork and even better finish. As Katie Ward adds the Trinity 4th. Her feet too quick to deal with for the Centenary ladies. And the finish putting it well out of reach for Avery Sanderson. Now Katie Ward and Cassie Bowers both with 2 goals here in the 2021 SCAC opener. Stafford gets a foot on the loose ball out of the back, and now Katie Ward Brought down 20 yards or so from goal by Ariel Muller. And Ward herself will be, you'd think, the prime candidate to take this free kick. Now hunting for a hat trick. Nobody else really in the conversation. Katie Ward has scored a couple free kicks in a Trinity uniform. The wall can't be more than 6 yards away at the moment. We'll see if the referee pushes them back. And he now will count it off. Just 2 in the wall for the ladies, and that'll open up opportunities on either side for Katie Ward. She looks like she's got eyes on the goalkeeper's left. Head goes low, down to Avery Sanderson's right. Shot lacking conviction. No hat trick yet for Katie Ward. Now up to 7 goals on the season to go with 3 assists. And out in front comfortably in the conference lead now by 3 goals. Spiel tries to lift that one in. Deflects off Muller. Cleared away by the ladies. Beal gets it back from Wallace. Can't connect with Everts. Last touch off Veronica Doherty. Wallace now tangled up with her opposite number 7, Muniz. And gives up the ball for a Centenary throw. She wins the header straight from that throw in. Heavy touch in midfield from Bowers. Hands possession over to Sierra Charles. Ladies wanted to lift it down the line for Sydney Bascom, who showed in moments in the first half that she's got the speed to threaten the back line, but won't get a chance there. Meyer lays it back to Lauren Bolish, who's in to start the second half for Joey Finley, who didn't have to make a save through the first 45. Stafford lifts this one behind the Centenary back line. It's a tough back pass to deal with, and it's caught by the goalkeeper. Referee calling for the pass back. I think there was intent to get it back to the goalkeeper, but obviously not at chest height. And that's the goalkeeper's argument now. So if you're unfamiliar with these type of situations, it's going to be an indirect free kick, and Trinity can go quickly here. They've got numbers in the box. A little bit of a mess here, as the Centenary wall now finally going to be told to step back. They're crowded around as Molly Sheridan and Katie Ward in conversation about how they're going to set this one up. The wall will be set on the 6-yard box. It will require a touch before anything can be fired towards goal. It's touched by Sheridan, shot by Ward, and blocked out for a corner. Get a look at the effort from Trinity there on the set piece. Shot blocked off the foot of Katie Ward, the subsequent corner. Out for a goal kick. The ladies make a change, bringing Daisy Acosta in for Sydney Bascom. Sanderson's goal kick onto the foot of Crandall, tracked down by Bowers, who leaves the back pass short of Meyer. There's 2 in the attack now for the ladies. Good work from Meyer, and then gets tangled up with McDonald. Referee takes note of that coming together. I think he's just told McDonald that she's going to pick up a yellow card at the next stoppage. But it's Trinity who bring it into the attack. Now a conversation between McDonald and Meyer and the referee. Out of your screen. So no yellow cards issued by the referee, and we're back underway. Sheridan gets it wide now for Everts, who runs out of room. Centenary throw coming. They've now got through 15 minutes of the second half, conceding the 4th goal to Katie Ward. This was the score the last time the ladies came to Paul McGinley Field. Composed play on the ball there for Bolish, the substitute goalkeeper. Crandall forward for Stafford. Bowers in behind for Sheridan, who's on it now. Cuts onto her right foot, tries to fire a ball across, blocked. And the spin presented it to Itzel Siguran. Siguran puts it out for a Trinity throw. Some energy coming from the Tigers bench. Here's the ball back with Siguran in midfield for the ladies. Crandall and Hendricks both get ahead to it. It's now with Stafford. Turns past her defender. He's got 2 to the right. Coming into the attack. It's lifted in towards the back post. Cameron Beals made the late run. Sheridan goes to ground in the penalty area. Beal gets it across. Sheridan's onto the loose ball. It's wide now with Stafford. Back to the top of the box for Molly Sheridan. Can't turn past the defender, but retains possession. The ball into the feet of Wallace, who'd made her way into the attack. But it's behind for a goal kick. Trinity looking to build and find the 5th goal this afternoon. Sanderson delicately places the ball for this goal kick. Gets plenty of air underneath it. It's Cameron Beal who gets onto the ball. Her pass looking for Ward. Intercepted. Ball all the way back to Bailey Meyer. Lifts it into the channel. Katie Ward closest to it in white. Cameron Beal now on the ball in the Trinity midfield. You can see some of the discoloration on the field caused by some overnight rain. It's going to be a tough patch in that channel, especially as we have the men's game later tonight. 6:30 kickoff between the defending SCAC champion Centenary Gents and the current leaders in the conference, Trinity Tigers, last year's regular season champions as well. And while the Gents may have lost the lightning in a bottle effect that helped them to their first ever SCAC title, it'll be interesting to see what Trinity without forward Michael Meese can do later today. So far, it's been smooth sailing for TU women's soccer here. 2 goals for Bowers, who lays this one in behind for Everett's to chase, and 2 goals for Katie Ward as Everett's sprint rewarded with a corner kick. She's just able to keep that one in play, have her cross blocked behind. "14 corners now in the game for Trinity, 10 of those in the first half. Driven into the near post, flicked on towards the top of the box, but Everett's tracks it down ahead of McDonald. Wallace in the midfield for Beal, slipped in behind as the flag stays down against Katie Ward. Great service towards the back post. Molly Sheridan can't miss. Terrific service from Katie Ward down the right, and Molly Sheridan gets her goal today. Trinity get their 5th. Ends up coming off the thigh of Molly Sheridan. All it needed was a touch, as Katie Ward put it right on the doorstep.
Goal for the Tigers, number 22, Molly Sheridan. Credit the assist to number 4, Katie Ward.
Stafford down the wing now. You see Sheridan up to 5 goals and 5 assists. Katie Ward adds an assist to her 2-goal haul today. She and Bauer still hunting for a hat trick for Trinity. 25 minutes to go, although you imagine substitutions coming soon. Everett's overhits the cross. That one will roll out of play on the far side. Gangloff picks it up, and no hurry to get the ball back in play. Bowers recovers possession for Trinity from the throw. Pokes it back to Stafford as she's dumped to the turf. Now Katie Ward at the top of the box, looks to drag it back and create space for herself. Realized there was none, and it's wide now with Wallace. Wallace skips past her defender, fires a low ball in for Katie Ward, redirects it towards goal. Comfortable save for Sanderson. All she had to battle was the sun to claim that one. Looks like the sun out right now over the rain clouds, which are ominously rolling in ahead of our 6:30 kickoff later on. Mackenzie Williams caught on the ball in midfield, first year out of Stonewall, Louisiana. He's now tracking back as Trinity work it down the left wing for Molly Sheridan. Sheridan to Stafford. Here's Katie Ward, skips past her defender, creates the space, slots it home. Hat trick, Katie Ward. 3 terrific goals and an assist on the day. Katie Ward's been too much to handle for the ladies. And you have to imagine, with another goal, another game coming up this weekend on Sunday for Katie Ward, might be on pace for a 3rd Offensive Player of the Week award of the year. She's replaced now as Trinity make wholesale changes. Isabel Mikulski is the last to make her way onto the field. Still Hendricks and Beal in midfield. They're now joined by Elena Wickham in for the first time today. Looks like it'll be Bosco and Walsh to lead the line. Mikulski and Horner on the outsides. Wickham immediately gets a touch on the ball as Beal's whistled for a foul. Three-quarters of the way through this game, Trinity have now surpassed a 4-0 score line that they put up against the ladies last time they were here in 2019. Still plenty of time to push for even more.
Katie Ward on the goal.
Yossi Buslag puts this one in. Scott Hendricks awkwardly knocks the wind out of the midfielder. Going the other way, Trinity have it. Bosco in behind. She's got two to her left in support. Michaela Bosco now enters the penalty area. Drop with the shoulder. Her cross blocked behind for a goal kick. Or corner, excuse me. Should be used to saying that by now. It's the 15th of the game. And the shots on target looking similar to the 1-0 game between these two teams last year. Trinity put up 30 shots in that game to Centenary's 5, but it took until 7 seconds from time for the Tigers to finally find the breakthrough. That one played in Shreveport. Much different game than this one, where Trinity took 23 minutes to find the opening goal, but since then have found the back of the net regularly, as we're accustomed to seeing from them here at Paul McGinley Field. Wickham onto it now. Puts the ball across, and it's turned home at the doorstep by Michaela Bosco. Third goal of the year for the first-year forward. Elena Wickham makes an immediate impact off the bench. She'll get the assist. And similar to Molly Sheridan's goal, off the thigh from close range, almost a carbon copy. And you see the head, hands on head for Avery Sanderson, the goalkeeper.
And for Trinity, number 26, Bella Peruzzi. Goal for the Tigers, number 27, Michaela Bosco. From number 10, Elena Wickham.
Bella Ferruzzi in to replace Hendricks in midfield. 21 minutes to play. Mikulski down the left wing, lays it across for Bosco at the top of the box. Wide to Horner, fires the ball in. It's defended at the back post, but controlled by Bosco. The ladies get it clear, but only as far as Bella Ferruzzi turns and drops it back to Crandall. Trinity completely dominant here in the second half. Misplaced ball gives possession back to the ladies for the throw-in. Trinity throw taken quickly into the feet of Walsh, who's got one assist today. There's Mikulski onto her right foot. Good ball in behind for Horner. Can't keep it in play. And gets a face full of the net behind the goal as a reward for making the sprint. Sanderson's goal kick. Too wide for Daisy Acosta to keep it in play. It's out into the Trinity bench. Throw in taken by Horner. Walsh goes all the way back to Bailey Meyer. Meyer returns it to Walsh. Takes a couple of touches to get it under control. And then dispossessed by Bascom. Last touch off the Tulsa native, out for a Centenary throw. More changes coming from both teams as the two coaches look to give opportunities to some younger players. Crandall wide for Mikulski. 2 defenders come to meet her. Does enough to win the throw. Taken into the feet of Wickham, who's getting a chance here to play behind the strikers. Started this season as a starter, but out on the wing. I think she prefers to play centrally. And she's already picked up an assist in just a few minutes off the bench. The junior out of Rockwall, Texas. Good line-breaking pass from Wallace. Finds the feet of Horner, now comes into her left foot. Can't put it in behind for Bosco. And the ladies' clearance is tracked down by Crandall, 10 yards into her own half. Ball into the feet of Bosco. Able to turn. Gets it back to Mikulski. He's got Alex Walsh for company in the penalty area. Last touch off the ladies. Another corner coming. 3 changes for both teams. Zingelman comes back in alongside Dabney Moore and Annie Agar. And it's 3 changes across the back line for Coach Harrison. First minute of the game for number 28 on the Centenary side, who's not listed on the roster. I'll try and get her name quickly.
Number 5, Dabney Moore. Number 30, Annie Agar.
Walsh gets it into the near post. I think Wickham got the last touch, saved immediately by the new goalkeeper. And 28 is actually Madison Ursoff. Listed as a goalkeeper, is going to get minutes out on the field, the Shreveport, Louisiana native. And the reserve goalkeeper is Emma Oderling. She's got another corner kick to worry about as Beal throws herself at it and has stayed down here. An awkward fall for Cameron Beal, who, regardless of the scoreline, is always going to give 100% effort, give her best. On this occasion, to her detriment, as she landed awkwardly on the back. Good to see her back on the feet. It's actually her own teammate,
In for Trinity, number 2, Meredith McCallum.
Madison Horner. Got tangled up with. Luckily, didn't land on the ball. Otherwise, it could have been much worse. She's replaced now by McAllister. Got an assist on the 5th Trinity goal, Cameron Beal.
In for the ladies, number 4, Gabby Mcdonald.
McDonald is going to come back in here. Her teammate is the one struggling. Training staff for both teams out to assist. Can't get a look at which number it is. I think it's either Muller or Gilbert, 23 or 24. Looks like it is Ariel Muller, junior out of Groves, Texas. Wish her the best. As the clock is stopped here, 17 minutes and 6 seconds to play. Trinity in front 7-0. 3 first half goals, 4 after the break. And a completely changed 11 out there right now for Coach Harrison. Ferruzzi settles the ball down off the header from Dabney Moore. Ferruzzi now spreads it wide for McAllister. McAllister wanted to go in behind for Horner. Pass intercepted, but the ladies run it out of play. Mikulski can't connect with Bosco. It's now at the feet of Ursoff. Can't hold it up. Alex Walsh onto the ball for Trinity. Feeds it wide for Bosco. Nobody in the area right now. The runs now come from Wickham and Walsh as Bosco wins the corner. Centenary gents now ready down to my left. They're watching on. Coach Paul McGinley has arrived. He's down to my right. Matchup between the regular season and the postseason SCAC champions of 2020. Coming up at 6:30 here on the Tiger Network. Corner kick cleared away by the ladies. Mikulski launches it towards goal. Cannon's off the referee. It's going to be an uncontested drop ball coming up for Trinity. Right at the feet of Alex Walsh. He'll have a pop from distance. Drop ball ended up working out for Trinity, creating the space for the senior out of Tulsa. Bosco on the ball here. Flag is going to go up against Walsh. Header won by Muniz in midfield, helps it on towards Hayworth. Possession regained by Dabney Moore. A touch of the ball for Bolish. Trinity looked to build from the back. Ferruzzi put under pressure here by Madison Ursoff. See the advantage statistically for Trinity, 28 shots, 17 on target. They've added 4 goals here in the second half to 3 in the first. The SCAC opener going just to plan for Coach Harrison. He'll face off against the Celts of University of St. Thomas on Sunday, noon kickoff. For the ladies, they'll be down the road in Kerrville to play at Shriner. Alex Walsh plays this one across for Bosco. Mikulski gets a foot on it at the back post. The save made by Ertling, first-year goalie out of Lake Charles, Louisiana. Mikulski keeps it in play on the far side. It's got Bosco to her right. Here is Michaela Bosco. Good ball to switch the play for Horner, who's poked it in field for Walsh. Sets it up with her first touch. Goes for the volley with the second. It's blocked. Ends up in the waiting arms of Emma Ertling. More forward for McAllister. Into the feet of Walsh, laid off for Horner. Horner's cross blocked by Bascom. Not the most legal of throw-ins from Madison Horner. Nothing to say for the referee. It's Madeline Milton It's into the game now, the first-year forward out of Houghton, Louisiana.
In for Centenary, number 30, Madeline Milton.
She replaces Avery Gilbert. Last touch off Muniz. Trinity throw coming. Bosco in the penalty area. Laid off for McAllister. Came off the hand of Ursoff. Trinity, though, keep possession. No need for the referee's whistle. Moore. Pass through the legs of Hayworth. Now Horner to the end line. Fired across for Bosco. Misses the kick. And misses a golden opportunity to add her second goal. Ferruzzi tracks the ball down in midfield. Skips past the defender. Wide now with Horner. Ball at the feet of Alex Walsh, the 2018 SCAC Newcomer of the Year. He's been a consistent figure in the Trinity starting 11 across all 4 seasons for Coach Harrison. He's named to the second team All-Conference last year. And with an assist today, he's up to 19 in her career. Bosco, much earlier on in her Trinity career, fires that one over.
In for the ladies, number 14, Caroline Simpson.
But already 3 goals and 4 assists for Michaela Bosco. All off the bench. Centenary taking the goal kick. It's bounced past Muniz all the way through to Dabney Moore. Missed the start of the season with injury. She's worked her way back in to get minutes as a part of the Trinity back line. It's her 4th appearance of the season. Bascom sends it down the line. It'll bounce out of the play where you see some of the Centenary gents are gathered. About 30 minutes or so from their scheduled kickoff time. Horner, terrific weight on the pass in behind. Bosco's beyond the goalkeeper, and she'll take her time to make sure to tuck it away. Trinity's 8th, Bosco's 2nd. And that one all about the pass from Madison Horner, who'll pick up the assist.
Goal for the Tigers by number 27, Michaela Bosco.
You see the ball perfectly weighted in behind, and Bosco able to get there ahead of the out-rushing goalkeeper. And no need to risk anything, just dribbles home.
In for the Tigers, number 17, Abby Schneider, number 25, Bella Tablante.
Schneider and Tablante into the game on either wing. We'll both get the last 9 minutes of this one as Mikulski and Horner head to the bench. Horner's last contribution to this game was her best, picking up the assist. Schneider loses her footing just onto the field, and that suspect, Patrick Grass, that's emerging down the Trinity right center channel. Throw-in coming for Sydney Bascom and the ladies. Cleared away by the Tigers, controlled by Wickham in midfield. Puts it in behind for Alex Walsh. He'll make the run. Ariel Muller gets there first. McDonald across to Bascom. Dabney Moore will keep this one in play. Into midfield for McAllister, senses the danger, turns away. Ferruzzi provides support to her left. Back to Meredith McAllister, wearing the number 2 shirt. That was Lindsay Pang's over the past few seasons. The all-region selection. And defensive leader for Trinity was awarded a postgraduate scholarship and moved on after a terrific career in Trinity colors. Three more changes for Trinity as Del Preti and Campbell re-enter the game. They'll be the 2 strikers. And for the first time, Hannah Johnston into midfield for Meredith McAllister. Campbell played as a striker primarily in her high school years. We've seen her play in the wide areas so far for Trinity's, getting a chance here. 6.5 minutes to go to make a run at the striker position. Picked up the assist on the first goal for Cassie Bowers. Way back in the 38th minute of this game. Schneider rolls it back to Moore. All the way back to Bolish, who hasn't had a save to make. A few touches here and there. The ball at her feet. First involvement now for Bella Toblante. Wants the ball in behind for Del Preti, who's got the speed to get there. Tries to keep it in play and was able to do so. We play on here as Toblante fires the shot. And a huge save. And the follow-up cleared off the line. Schneider couldn't turn it goalward at the third opportunity. With a highlight reel save for Emma Ertling. As the shot was low towards the near post. No, anyway, it came off the post. May have had it covered. Unlucky for Bella Ferruzzi, who was inches away from her first goal of the season. See in the background of your screen out on the softball outfield, Trinity men's soccer warming up. They open SCAC play without a couple of key starters. It'll be interesting to watch. See how they get on without their starting goalkeeper, their starting striker. Still the overwhelming favorites, ranked number 2 in the country in the latest polls. Trinity women ranked number 8, falling from number 7 the previous week because of that draw against Stevens. Their big standout wins coming against teams who, coming into this season, were scheduled or projected quite high. Preseason standings, the likes of Stevens were in the top 15 nationally, but they haven't had the best year. And despite all of Coach Harrison's efforts to make a really hard strength of schedule, it hasn't worked out that way. Statement wins over Hardin-Simmons and Callaloo. They count a little bit less when the Regals and the Cowgirls are having down seasons as they are. But ultimately, it just matters. You got to win your conference and qualify for the NCAA tournament, which Trinity have done 11 straight times. Of course, last year doesn't count. There was no NCAA tournament to compete in. Tigers ending up number 1 in the national standings of the teams that played. And regular season play has never really been an issue under Coach Harrison. He's never lost. He's looking for a 131st straight win in SCAC regular season play. Bella Ferruzzi now into the penalty area, blazes the shot over the bar. Close to number 9 for Trinity. as Gilbert replaced Madison Ursoff. You see, look at the shot from Ferruzzi just over the bar. Tablante wins it back. Now approaches the penalty area, gets the shot away. That one bounces ahead of Ertling. Get another save to her name. Handball against Dabney Moore as Gilbert was challenging. Be a chance here late in the game for the ladies to get a consolation goal. Spoil a clean sheet for Bolish. He's looking for a combined shutout with Joey Finley, who played the first 45. Bascom sends it in. Defended by Agar. Out for a throw across the way. Stick around just after the final whistle. We'll go through the 8 Trinity goals, get a look at the highlights before we switch gears and prepare for the men's game. Set to kick off just about 20 minutes or so once this one goes final. McDonald takes the throw for the ladies. Possession here with Bascom. Let's go over the top for Simpson, who doesn't have the speed to keep that one in play. Moore takes the throw in. Ferruzzi turns away from 2 defenders. Ball back now with Dabney Moore. As the seconds tick down, Taylor Campbell won't keep this one in play. Looks like it'll be your final stats. 36 shots for Trinity, 21 on target, 18 corner kicks, and 8 goals. And a resounding performance to open SCAC play. For Centenary, 3 shots, 1 on target. 13 saves between Ertling and Avery Sanderson. And 3 points for Trinity to open SCAC play. Here's how they did it. Katie Ward opened the scoring in the 24th minute on the feed from Molly Sheridan and Alex Walsh. Taylor Campbell will get the assist on the Trinity second. Turned home from close range by Cassie Bowers. Here's Katie Ward, puts the ball in. It was defended initially by Gangloff, turned home by Cassie Bowers for her second of the game. Emma Everts broke down the right wing as we're now in the second half. Katie Ward with quick feet gets between 2 defenders and picks out the opposite top corner with a spectacular finish. Her second. And it was her ball across that allowed Molly Sheridan to turn it in from close range for the 5th. Katie Ward herself completed the hat trick for the Trinity 6th. Michaela Bosco turned home across from Elena Wickham for the 7th, and the final 8th Trinity goal also scored by Michaela Bosco on the feed from Madison Horner. It's a resounding performance for Trinity women's soccer, who get the job done. 8-0 here on home field. Next up, Trinity men's soccer facing off against the defending SCAC champion Centenary Gents. We hope you'll tune in for that one. Just about 20 minutes till kickoff. Should be a good one. For now, my name is Ryan Figert, and I appreciate your time here on this Friday afternoon. 3 points in the bag, 8 goals on the board for Trinity women's soccer. We're off to a great start here in 2021.